Welcome YouTube, I'm going to be showing you how to build danjin. A character I recently actually got the constellation to the max constellation level. So I thought it might be cool to actually start upgrading her more. And give an idea how you should upgrade her. Of course, it depends on like how you honestly want to build the character. But as we all know, her skill probably is the best for DPS. Her ultimate and her skill are probably the best. That most of her damage comes from her skill. Cause you could spam her skill. It's really good. It takes her HP, but does high damage in return. So actually, you will probably think it will probably be good to have like a really good healer than if she takes HP. But I personally prefer her to be with Taoshi because shield isn't affected, so you don't have to worry about her HP constantly draining. You could just worry about shield. That's it. So I personally prefer shield. Cause it's not affected by your skill. But yeah, focus on the skill and the ultimate. And get this obviously when you're able to. I'm missing this, which is actually really annoying. This will be good. I'll give a rough idea of what you want for her. Crit damage would be preferred. The reason why I'm using this crit rate piece is because it's a really good piece. It has attack, ultimate damage, crit damage by quite a high number, crit rate, and more attack. So this piece almost gives 30 crit rate, plus it gives pretty good crit damage and a bunch of other buffs. That's why I'm using this piece and not a different piece. You go down, like one on Rover Horvath. Because the Rover Horvath one isn't as good for Jinxon as the crit rate one that I currently have. But you would want crit damage. Because you can always just get crit rate as a substat. So it's always better to have crit damage. And you'll probably want a piece like this. You want Horvath damage bonus or attack. It doesn't matter, either or works. I just go with Horvath damage bonus. You will want crit damage, attack buffs, Resident Liberation damage, and crit rate you'll want with the here. Then you're pretty much set. The skill would be better. If you get Resident skill damage bonus, that would be better than the ultimate. Speaking of which, I should probably actually start equipping some stuff. I don't think I have a second. Oh wait, no, I do. Horvath. There we go. For the ones, it's obviously the same thing. It's just you want attack stat like this, but you're going to want the same substats as everything else. You just want attack. Mostly attack, that's what you're going to want. So pretty much kind of like Rover Horvath. You're going to want huge crit damage and pretty high crit rate. More than anything though, crit damage. And if possible, if you have this sword and you're not using it for any other character, I would prefer giving this sword here to her, because it gives energy regen when you cast residential skill. And since you spam the skill, it's really useful for this character. And it increases attack too, which is even better. And it gives crit rate. So this is like the ideal sword you want for her. but it is a 5-star rarity sword. So if you don't have it, my personal suggestion is to go for this because it increases the basic attack damage bonus and heavy attack damage bonus by 20% every time you use her skill. And since you spam her skill, it's really useful for doing this a little bit extra damage. This will be my personal suggestion to use if you don't have this. This one also won't be bad, because energy regen will let you use your ultimate more often. So, this isn't bad either. You can argue this is actually better than the sword I currently have equipped. It's just this sword doesn't give as much attack, so I prefer to use this sword. But this sword will be really good if you want to spam the ultimate as well with the skill. This will make it so the ultimate regenerates really quickly. Here are the bonuses that you get for having each constellation level. She can get pretty powerful with all these buffs. She gets a lot of bonuses. And here's a roughly what her skills do as well. Her skill is this, I cannot say, Enchanting Will. Which most of her constellation buffs, this one, and I think this one. Oh, these two guarantee do something with Enchanting Will. This one also has an effect too. Oh, we know it's Russian Liberation. Never mind, ignore me what I just said there. But if you, as long as she has these two, her skill will be really powerful. But she can get some pretty powerful bonuses if you get all these. But besides from all of this, that's roughly how I suggest you would build Jinxin. Of course, people have different opinions. You could argue, you could go pure attack and make it so the skill does as much damage as possible instead of crit damage. But every single time I do that, it seems weaker than when I have crit damage. So I like to go with more crit damage. A perfect example of this is Encore. I have Encore go nearly pure attack, but Jinxin does 10 times more damage in Encore, despite being my newest character and is barely built. And Encore is completely maxed out, up to level 70. So, kinda huge thing evolving that. This is my personal opinion though. I just prefer crit damage. So I give all my attack characters crit damage, unless it's a character like Encore, where a weapon gives attack. Because this is her designated weapon, it gives attack. So I will just make her attack. This is roughly a better idea of what you'll want for her though. You want as much crit damage like this. Crit rate, energy regen is really good to have. Like I said earlier in the video, you're gonna want all that stuff. One thing I should point out though, do not give her HP. You will think you will want her to have a bunch of HP, but it's not good to give her HP, because her skill consumes HP. That's where most of her damage comes from. So you should not give her HP. And she's like a glass cannon. Like, she does high damage, but she gets one shot. So you need to have like shield instead of HP. That's why I suggested Tal Shi earlier in the video, because since he consumes HP, even if you have a godlike HP, like Verena or Baiji. Baiji's a bad example, cause I don't have anything on her, but but unless you have a godlike HP pool, even then, it's not good, because that HP pool will take her a while to get rid of that HP pool because with her skill, but it would be depleted in like less than 30 seconds because of her skill. Because she could regenerate HP, don't get me wrong, she regenerates half her HP every time you use her skill like 10 times, but you still lose more HP than you gain. So it's not worth it. That's why I suggested you use Sao Chi earlier in the video, because shield isn't affected, and it could be just as effective, if not better, more effective than having a bunch of HP. Because Sao Chi also will navigate a huge chunk of the damage you would take. So if you have a Tao Shi, I'll actually give it a pretty good team example. I have one already pre-made. You can have Tao Shi here, Daijin here, then Lu Mei here for a Horvath DPS. Here's just a rough team you can do. If you're wondering what the teams I have, these are the teams I currently have. This one is just random, to be honest. I just put random stuff here. These are more of a testing team, to be honest. But these ones actually have something. Like this one's Jaishi. This one's like a Jayan. I cannot say his name right. This one's Horvath, and this one is one with Encore. So this is roughly what you want for team wise. And keep in mind, when you upgrade her weapon, you're going to need this. You could get from doing the forgery farm, get by doing this, or you could get it through other means, like over here on the item exchange, or somewhere. I think it's over here actually on the training store. You could get it here as well. Somewhere. I know you can get it here. But yeah, you're going to need that stuff if you want to actually start upgrading your skills and your weapon and stuff. So keep that in mind. You will need a bunch of that stuff. And keep in mind, she isn't a DPS character. She provides extra damage for a Horvath teammate. She's a sub DPS. So you could make her a main DPS, but she's more meant to support than to actually do damage. It's just her build is based off doing as much damage as possible, as well as buff people. So you can make her so you can still make her do high damage and buff something like over Horvath to do the maximum amount of damage. Just letting you know, so you don't go around making her a full-on perfect DPS when she's more of a support. It would be better to give it would be better to give the attack pieces to an actual attack character than her. Just give her like the weaker equipment. If you have two really good sets I can give to each character, then I would do that. It's just with that's how I would give her the weaker set, because she's not a DPS, she's a sub DPS. But upon that, I hope you found this video useful, and make sure you like and subscribe. And upon that, have a good day.